someone, I'll just quickly introduce Gary. So first of all, I really want to appreciate Gary Mastro for taking our time to speak with us today. So Gary Mastro is someone who is very special and dear to me on a broad view, like professional view. He's the director and president for Marketing Solutions Group, and he was the former vice president for brand and product marketing at UPS. Many of you know UPS, the global brand. Um, and he has dedicated his life to mentorship for a long time. I met him through the Micro Mentor organization platform where we connected. Gary has been my mentor for almost seven years now, connected since 2014. He has been a pillar to a lot of my success when it comes to business. Starting from when I started my first liquid soap company, the one I won the You Win grant, helping me to find like get very good marketing strategy that helped me scale across the northern Nigeria. And then I moved on to Kadush. He was there all the way. And then he was one of the major um, um, strength or backbone behind the Inspire Africa organization when it first started in 2016. So I am so happy and proud to have him. It's more like a father to me. So I'm sure you will all learn a lot from his expertise. I'm looking forward to hearing him teach today. So Gary, over to you.
Thank
And thank you
you.
once again.
Would you mind, am I on as a participant so I can share the screen?
Okay, sure. I can help you share the screen. 1 second.
I mean, I could click it if it's on.
Okay, so I have to make you host because it won't let you share the screen.
Okay.
But 1 second, I will do that shortly.
Yep. Well, that's different. That's what I expected.
Okay, go ahead.
I just put it on speaker view. We good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, well, wait a minute. Before I do that, what Cynthia was talking about, and you have to excuse me, my camera's over here, but my screen is over here, so my head's going to be a little tilted. So excuse the fact that my eyes are going that way. I'm trying to look at you as best I can. I've been doing mentoring for quite a while, and I have to say, of all the mentees I've had and cohorts I've worked with, Cynthia is far and above the most successful, diligent mentee that I've ever worked with. She does what she's asked to do, does the homework, comes back, completes that, and goes one step beyond. What I found so remarkable lately is that Cynthia now is become the teacher, and she's brought all of you folks together as students. If you learn anything out of this workshop at all, I think you're going to learn the ideas of dedication and hard work, and seeing your goal and objectives through to the end. Outside of all the technical learning that you've got and other things, it gets down to some of the basics. Keeping yourself involved, fighting through the obstacles, overcoming objectives, objections, pardon me, and actually getting in there and getting the job done. We're going to spend time on, and it's some pretty fundamental stuff about marketing and customer needs. If there is any point that you want to discuss, please do. We could stop on 1.1, and if that takes us an hour to discuss, it would have been worth it. So despite the fact that there's some slides, I don't want to get hung up on the slides. I'd rather get hung up on conversation, if that works for you guys. Okay? So I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, so the first piece obviously is about marketing customer needs. One of the things I did for a number of years was to work with our branding, advertising, communication strategies, and messaging for UPS on a global basis. So we had to work with different levels of business integration in different parts of the world. Nigeria, for example, was a well-run organization because we purchased a previous organization that had been distributing merchandise in and out of Nigeria. We had a country manager there, and it never heard any problems. It was great. Business was there, and what's incredible is how much it's growing and how much more opportunity there is in Nigeria. I was telling Cindy the other day that it's forecasted that Nigeria by 2050 will be the second largest country in the world. And with that in mind, there's a lot of investment going on in Nigeria from other countries. I think you guys are right at the heart of getting into the beginning of all that, which should allow for some amazing growth for you and the businesses that you create. I'm going to move on to some of the prepared text. This may seem kind of basic to you, I'm not sure, but my screen's just a little off. Okay. I'm trying to shrink this a little bit. So can you see me still? Yes, no?
Yes, we can see you very well.
Okay, all right. So just some basic ideas. Market isn't putting up a slick website and waiting for sales to come. There's that old comment that says, you know, build it and they will come. That's just not the way it works. Cindy, would you mind acting as a monitoring the program, and if questions come up, just stop me?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Thank you.
So if you have any question, please put that on the chat, and then I'm going to ask that to Gary.
Okay. It's an ongoing process. It's not a one-time project. So as you go through the process of putting your plan together, just keep in mind this thing's going to change and be a living document, and it will change constantly. Promotion is what a lot of people think about. How do I get out there and push my product out and have people buy? Well, that's an important piece of marketing, but it's typically the last thing that you're going to be interested in. Promotion and marketing aren't the same things. It's the last piece after you've gone through all the other pieces. It starts with product conception, and I guess that's one of the things that you folks are doing there. You're testing your product and you're testing the needs and determining if it's going to serve a purpose against the customer needs. Is that something you're doing? Yeah, I'm losing the.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, we have somebody whose mic is currently on. Please, can you mute yourself? You are kind of interrupting this conversation. I think someone by the name Donatien Mboyin Twari, I don't know. Donatien, please, can you mute yourself? Okay, so
we're good?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So marketing involves the pricing your product.
Okay, Gary, can you make me host back so that I can mute everyone and they won't be able to unmute themselves? Then I'll only be able to speak to you and unmute them myself.
Okay, so now I need help. How do I do that?
So go to participants. Can you see participants?
Yep.
Yes, click on it.
Okay.
You will find my name. Can you see my name sitting here under the list of participants?
There you go.
So click on more. Click like over my name and click on more.
Yeah, I already did. I made you the host.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'll just mute everyone. 1 second.
Alright. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, done. Zoni, you
Am I
can.
unmuted?
Yes, you're muted. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm muted?
Yeah.
I can, all right. Um, when we go into pricing, that's one of the interesting pieces because what you need to do is make sure that you're pricing to enough to maximize some profits, but in some cases low enough so that you're able to integrate into the portfolio of services that you have against your competition. Uh, Pricing has become an art, and it's absolutely a critical part of marketing. So if you go in and you price at the very top of the range, you're likely not going to penetrate the types of businesses that you want. Your goal would be to go in and find a sweet spot, so to speak, so that you can be able to attract customers, especially if you're a new player in the field. It's very important. I had to do a lot of that when when I worked with UPS, opened up different countries. Pricing was key. We offered a lot of pricing discounts, and we were able to get our foot in the door with the number of customers, and it was quite a challenge for a number of years. After you've done your products and your pricing, then you need to work out your distribution channels. Who are you actually selling to? How are you going to make your products available to customers? Are they going to be in a brick and mortar location? If so, what's it going to look like? Are they going to be in a strictly online? And if it is, how are you going to access your customers? What ways will you use? What kind of digital marketing will you apply? And there are questions we could go through a little later. And then promotion, as I said before, is the last step. It can only be done effectively once you've done the other three pieces. Without completing the full marketing cycle, your promotion will cost you a lot of money and it'll fall flat because you haven't accomplished the other parts. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at these four pieces, and it doesn't matter whether this was done 40 years ago or it will be done 40 years from now. The quote, 4 Ps of marketing are critical. So I wanted to just take a look at each one of them very briefly. So the first one is product. This is the questions you need to ask yourselves about the product you're trying to create or the service you're going to deliver. What does the customer want from the product? What features does it have to meet the needs? What does it look like? What's it going to be called and branded? Branding in itself could be a 4-hour discussion about how you brand your products, how you brand your organization. What do you want to look like? It's kind of a seesaw. Do you want to be viewed aspirationally as the top of the line brand, or do you want to be in the middle somewhere? So you blend into other brands, or do you want to come in at a low brand, low price service? Branding in itself is going to be very, very difficult in terms of how you position yourself in the other parts of pricing, as we talked about. Let's take a look at place. So once you've developed your product, where are your buyers going to look for your product? Is it going to be in a store? What kind of store? What are the right distribution channels? I almost feel like I want to ask these questions, but I know everybody's muted. A distribution channel means the access that you have. Are you going to be going through shipping to get your products to a brick and mortar store? are you going to be using the internet? And if you're using the internet, how are you going to be approaching potential clients? How are you going to get clients? What's your email strategy going to be? What kinds of marketing will you be using for advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads? What works in your part of the country? Do you need to use a sales force? So instead of, or maybe along with doing digital marketing or communicating through different types of promotion, do you need what they call feet on the street? Do you need people to literally knock on doors and try and sell your products? And importantly, study your competition. What are they doing and how do you learn from them? How do you differentiate yourself from the competition? That's a key. If you ask Cindy when she was selling a dishwashing material, chemical, she learned to differentiate herself by putting in something that was good to use, environmentally safe, and her price point was below the others. So it was a very interesting discussion, a very interesting plan that we had regarding her product. Let's go to price. The value of the product you're selling, what's your price value proposition? Are there established price points in that area? Or will your customers be sensitive to price? Or is it going to be something that they must have and pricing isn't as important? Should you offer discounts? And how do you compare with your competition? I'm going to go to the next one. Promotion. When and where can you get your marketing message across? What are you going to be using? Is it going to be digital marketing? Is it going to be standard marketing with press publications, TV, radio, or even on billboards? Billboards still exist and they pay off some pretty well in different geographies. When's the best time to promote? So if you're sending an email, is it best to promote that email and send it on Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Before people go to work? Or is it better to do it on Thursday evening when people have some downtime and they want to go through their email and possibly see your product? And how does that influence your choice of promotional activity? How do consumers do that? Okay. Cindy, again, if there's any questions, please stop me because I don't want to just continue talking.
Yes, sure. They can type on the chat, so I'll respond whenever we have any question.
Okay. This is the internet marketing pyramid. I'm assuming that most of you folks are using the internet, you're using digital marketing, and it's pretty much what we've discussed about the 4 Ps. It's exactly the same thing, frankly. But this is being done on a digital basis. So the bottom is branding. We talked about that. That's who you are and who you want to be. What is the promise that you want to give to your clients? If you promise something, you need to deliver on that promise. You are what you eat, basically. Branding isn't just for clients. Branding is the promise you make to yourself, to your business, and to your customers. It is the thing that you live by. So if you want to be a high value brand, you need to create some goals and objectives that'll make you high value to and indispensable to your clients and customers. Then we have search engine optimization and search engine marketing. Cindy, I just see if anyone answers. I'm curious if anybody knows what SEM. You probably all know what SEO means, but how about SEM?
Do you know what SEM means? So you can just respond in the chat. If you know what that means, respond in the chat. Search engine marketing. Abigail said search engine marketing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, search engine marketing is paid marketing. paid advertising. It is the thing that eventually gets you on what's called the search engine results page. That's the thing you all want to get on. That is where you appear on just about every search. Some people pay an awful lot of money to get into that search. When you Google something and the information appears on the Google search, the top three search results and the four on the side, top 4 and 3 on the side, create the paid advertising. So you will see that those spots are dedicated to paid marketing and also dedicated to those that have the highest search engine optimization results. The next step in the pyramid is your content.
We have one question, one from Chikeret.
Yep.
So he says, so in the case of branding, you said you have to start cheaper than existing services. Does that work when you are trying to be an exclusive brand?
With your existing services, but the brand is, you know, what you envision yourself. What's the aspirational goal that you have? Do you want to be the best product with the best service out there? Do you want to, so if you're selling cars, for example, do you want to be I guess you all know what a Chevy is, or do you want to be a Mercedes-Benz, or do you want to be a Porsche? What level do you see yourself, and what level works for you? A good Chevy at the right price is a perfect brand. Or even different, if you want to brand in a way that you're a top brand. You folks probably all know the best brands that are out there: Apple, Disney. You know, there's just so many of them that are UPS, for example, and that's actually a good one to consider. Would you like to be a UPS or a FedEx? Where do they stand? UPS is lower on the value chain. Federal Express is higher, but UPS is better on the pricing chain, and it puts Federal Express below UPS overall for a better brand. So that's a very important consideration, is what's your brand promise, and how do you see getting to that? Okay. I'm going to move on to content. Are there any other questions about branding or SEO? Okay. Content marketing, that's kind of the words, keywords, and questions that people need to be answered. So in your content, either on your website or in the social media you put out, there's keywords that you're going to talk about and describe. If someone is looking for help in business services, you would have in your discussions, in your website, we provide help to businesses that are looking for help for starting a new business. We provide support for entrepreneurs. That's the appropriate content, because that's the appropriate kinds of questions that would come up when someone's looking for support for new businesses. Your social media. You all are likely familiar, probably more familiar than I am with the social media, whether it's Facebook ads, Google ads. If you're going to be communicating in any other way through any other ad organizations, you need to have all of the bottom three parts of the pyramid done before you start advertising. You need to create a healthy website. You need to have your search engine optimization identified. If you're going to spend money on search engine marketing, how much are you going to spend? And then when you get to social media, you actually spend the money and buy your advertising. Or you don't have to buy advertising. You can just put it on your Facebook page or your Google My Business page and hopefully get more and more followers. Are we good with that? Now, the little tip up here.
I think we have more questions. So David made a comment, said, I like to see management as key in marketing, especially since marketing is an ongoing process. So that's not really a question, but I think he just made a comment.
Well, marketing is the business. Finance is critically important, and it's important for any marketer to understand finance. Operations is important so that you are doing something and getting a fair amount of return from your employees that work in order to allow you to market, to get more business in, and then create more and more opportunities for people. But marketing sometimes is considered a soft service, where in fact marketing is the engine behind the organization. Without marketing, you really don't have anything. You've got a business, and if you don't need marketing, well, that's different. If you're running a store that has walk-in traffic and you're selling a product that people need, well, then you don't need to market as much. But if you're trying to expand your horizons and if you want to grow globally, you absolutely need marketing. You absolutely need to market on the internet.
Okay.
Any other questions, Cindy?
So I have two more questions, but they relate more to the rest of your answers. So I would prefer maybe if you go through it up to email marketing, then I will ask you the rest question so that they understand it fully. Yeah.
All right. Sure. So email marketing again is something that is incredibly important. It really is. It's at the pinnacle, and it deserves to be there, because the email marketing, people don't even consider it as part of the integrated force of internet marketing, when in fact it's the key to your business. I work for an organization or with an organization that communicates to, I don't know, our mail list is about 20,000. And we run, I don't know, 400 workshops a year. And the only way people know about us outside of some other visits we get on our website is through our email marketing. Email marketing is critically important. It should include the key phrases we discussed earlier. It should include the best type of subject line for your email so people will open it. And then the first few comments, what's called above the fold. So when you open an email, the fold is at the very bottom of your computer screen. So you need to make that very interesting to allow people to scroll down a little further and see what you're talking about in terms of your business. Email marketing, we give classes on that, and it takes 4 hours to get through the beginnings of email marketing. So it's critical for this whole integrated marketing pyramid. Okay?
Okay, so if I may ask you the question now. So one of them from George Will Churchill says, which of these strategies concerning internet marketing is more resourceful? Is it dependent of the kind of product you are selling?
Yes, it is. If it's something that doesn't require a lot of content marketing, and you have a good customer base, then you skip right to email marketing and you sell your product. I find that if you don't do all of these, you're not going to be successful. What's the most important? I believe the most important is going to be your branding, what you want to be, because that's sort of like setting up your vision for your organization. The branding is going to be what people go back to and say, who are we? Are we staying in line with our mission and strategy? You define your brand by your mission and your vision. So that's, to me, is the most important part of building your marketing, whether it's internet marketing or regular marketing, traditional marketing. Do you have others?
Yes, so we have from Khalid. Khalid said, isn't developing a product that suits the niche needs of the target market, that's the target customer, I mean,
Mhm.
an indirect way of branding? So said, I mean, sorting out the need at 100% branding is a sense of keeping the customer for a long time.
Yeah, I think it does as long as you keep a promise. If you promise to be that you will get an answer to a customer within 24 hours, that you'll get service to them within the same day, if you promise that you're going to give them a service that they will, it's a money back guarantee if they don't like your product. Uh, all those things are critical, even in a niche. If there's no other competitors, you're fine. But I don't know too many businesses that don't have more than one business as a competitor. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think that does. Thank you. Um, so we have David. David said, are there that like data privacy laws in SEM?
Privacy laws in SEM?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but search engine marketing is really just how you are paying for your advertising, and the way you do it through including SEO and content marketing. Um, there's no privacy issues in terms of paying for search engine marketing that I'm familiar with globally. And that is the thing that gets you on the search engine results page. Remember this acronym, SEARS, S-E-R, or SERP, S-E-R-P, pardon me. That's the key. Once you get on the SERP page, you're golden. People will search you out and you'll come up in the top 7 all the time.
Okay. So I think like a follow-up question to your response on email marketing. Mariam Topper said, so does that mean that email marketing does not apply to all kinds of business?
Oh, no, I think email marketing applies to every business. I can't imagine anyone not communicating with their customers, whether you're actually selling something or just doing customer service, or you're conducting surveys on how good the product or service is that you've sold. I think it's important to get in front of your customers regularly and with information that's worth them their reading. You don't just send out email bursts with little information that's useful. Um, so regardless of what you're doing, I think email marketing is a critical part of your business practice.
Okay. So one last question before we proceed from Dio. It says, so for manufacturers, which of these marketing is key?
I'm sorry, for manufacturers?
Yes. Which of these
How,
marketing methods is key?
well, you're manufacturing for someone. You may be manufacturing in a commercial business. You may be manufacturing for industrial products. You may be selling to wholesalers, but you're still selling. Uh, if you're manufacturing a product, you're doing it either on contract or for some other reason, but you don't have one customer. You typically have a number of customers, and um, you know the and you want to grow your business. So whether it's manufacturing, wholesaling, distribution, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be selling to the next person in the chain, whatever that might be. Okay.
Sure, thank you. That's
All
all
right.
for now.
Should I move on?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, we just covered all this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I do want to highlight a couple things. There's 7 important steps in search engine optimization, which ties to SEM. The first is crawl accessibility, so engines can read your website. There are millions of what they call website crawlers, and these crawlers are looking for keywords. They're looking for answers to typical questions. They're programming constantly. You know, they're typically Google and all the other search engines that are out there, even Microsoft Edge now, which is growing very widely, uh, have have these crawl engines, and when they get on words or answers that have answered questions in the past, it keeps moving people up the chain of search engine optimization. And if it's that compelling, you're optimizing your business and you're going to be attracting more people who are searching for your type of business. You also want to have uh, a great user experience with uh, your website, so people could go in there and it loads up very quickly, and they're able to read it very quickly. Uh, URLs and descriptions that draw high rankings are going to be simpler things to understand, not a complex. Do not make your URL complex. You know, you want to have it very short. 2 words maybe would be .com. Whatever it is, .com is the simplest way to do things. Anything that's long is going to be forgotten. Anything that's challenging and it's in alphabet, it's not in a word style, that's going to be challenging. So these things that we talk about will make you stand out in SERPs. And SERPs is the answer to search engine questions. That's the thing that people need to get into. And you need to research and see where you are in SERPs. You can do SERPs.com and you'll find out for your business, it has different questions. You could query the type of business you're in, and you will see a whole list of the types of questions there are for your business, which is very important for you to do as you begin your digital marketing programs. Okay? Any questions, Cynthia?
No,
All right,
no.
we're gonna move on to what's called the SWOT analysis. This is basic stuff, but it is, again, something that's going to be around forever and ever. So SWOT is strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. Strengths are where you sit above the competition. What you have is the most relevant type of program, that you have good content on your website, you have a great user interface, you load up fastly, your checkout process is good, and it's friendly both on a laptop and a phone. I did this with digital stuff. You could do it with traditional marketing as well. Opportunities. Where do you take advantage of new technological designs, new design needs, e-commerce technology and innovations to make better marketing tactics for yourself? So where can you find your opportunities to better market your business? Weaknesses are what you would expect. There's a lot of errors that come up when people try to get into your website. It's outdated. The look is terrible and inefficient. You have poor search engine ranking, plugin errors. Now, that word weakness could be different. If you're a manufacturer of clothing, your strength is that the quality of the cotton that you use in order to make a dress or a pair of pants are top line, 200 strain cotton. A weakness would be someone who has 50 strain. You're selling pants that last for about, a few weeks or a few months, and they start to wear. So there's all different ways to look at SWOTs analysis, but I just did it with a technical side. Threats, potential obstacles and viruses, increase in competitor activity, new laws and regulations that may change the customer buying behavior that you need to be sure you're engaged with. In fact, a new threat could be a product that's sold in a particular country that has to have X number of particles per person for whatever you're selling. It could be chemically related, or it could be related to the product itself. So there are certain things that you need to stay on top of to determine what your overall analysis is for the business. I want to talk about some of the basics for building.
I just wanted to drop a quick comment. So that's what analysis is very, very useful, because I think this is one of the tasks they are expected to do during their marketing research. So we have that there. So I hope you are paying attention. If you have questions, please ask right now.
Okay.
This is an opportunity to learn more about what you need to do when it comes to SWOT analysis. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay. Part of this discussion, and we're really getting down to the end, I wanted to spend time for discussion later and questions, is the customer building basics. What's important in marketing and important to your customers? So are you offering a value proposition that's done properly, uniformly, and consistently? Have you identified your target audiences? And Cindy just mentioned SWOT analysis, so that would be the O. That would be your opportunities. Who's your target market? Where are you going to find them? How are you going to penetrate them? How are you going to speak with them? Who's the potential customers that'll find value in your product or service? Moving on, making your products and service easily accessible, and asking and closing sales. You know, it's pretty amazing. The studies that have been done for salespeople is that 90% of salespeople will present the product, but they never ask for the order. It sounds foolish, but unless you have a highly charged sales organization that may be commission-based, it's going to be very difficult for you to, excuse me. Let me just close that off. Sorry. So unless you're out there, not just selling, but asking for the sale, it's going to be important for you to do that. Finding cost-effective communication channels that your customer can reach, that you can reach your target audience. Is it going to be email? Is it going to be through your website? You have to remember all the things that we talked about with that triangle. The thing that would be in the middle of that triangle would be your website. So your emails, they go out and they come back to your website so you can process an order. Your search engine optimization is the content which resides in your website, and the content that you have in your emails, and the content you have in your ads. Your advertising will always take somebody back to the website. As long as you have a, quote, register in your website, which means people go to your website, they see what you have available, and they purchase. You have an easy checkout. I'm sure most of you have purchased something on Amazon or another major distributor and seller. It's very quick, very easy to search through their organization, and very easy to check out. They're the masters right now. Communicating well. Someone asked a question about emails. Does it make sense to have this type of marketing if you're manufacturing? It doesn't matter. What this is saying is communicating well with your audience through appropriate channels and frequently. You want to be in front of them with important information as much as possible. The next point really relates to branding, delivering the products, services, and benefits you promise to your customers. And don't underpromise. Don't overpromise and not deliver, I guess is the word. You want to underpromise and overdeliver. That's critical for your own brand building and people who will fall in love with your company. Repeat and expand the process. So rinse, lather, repeat. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but that's typically what you're going to do. You're going to be working the process and testing what you do constantly. See what works and what doesn't work. Are we good, Sin? Any other questions?
Not for
Okay.
now, no.
All right. So this is pretty basic stuff, but these are the kinds of things that you should be asking yourself once you've put together your marketing program. Have you developed a real need for your customers? Have you surveyed the customers or merely talked to a few people and somebody gives you an idea and they say, geez, it'd be cool to have this or that. It'd be great to have a pop-up umbrella that goes up automatically when it senses rain. I'm not sure people would buy that, but it could be something that's cool. And in 2040, we might be seeing those types of things, or something uniquely different. Can you make more improvements to your products? And that has to do with your surveys. People tell you more and more about them. And when they tell you about them, you're going to learn more and decide whether you want to make investments to improve the products. How's your pricing? Do you need to go up in pricing or down in pricing? Do you need to have enough offers out there so people could test your product? So pricing, again, becomes a very important thing. And you also want to price at a point where you're making it worth your while to make a product. What we usually tell people to do is to have enough money to live on for 6 months before you expect to get any revenue out of your program. If you are down to the bone and you're betting everything on the first 2 weeks of your opening a business, you're going to crash. You need to have money available to maintain your lifestyle for at least 6 months, and don't expect anything to come in from your business. Are your products accessible? We talked through that. Do you have multiple channels? Are they going to a store, on your website? Are you using third-party distributors or another party to, or are you going to sell them through different sales organizations that you hire? Are your products in stock? What's your logistics strategy? What is your logistical chain? That's compromised very much right now in the United States. We can't get products in because many of the manufacturers have closed down. Many of the supplies that are coming in from different parts of the world have stopped because of COVID. So it's very difficult to get products. Those people that have the products are charging a premium. When there's more competitors out there, customers will remember who charged premiums when products weren't readily available, and they'll be losing their customers. What's your promotional plan? Are you testing your promotion to find out what works best? And that's standard. If I'm going to sell something at X and sell something at Y, you're going to be doing a blind marketing test. You want to see which of the two products sell and how are you selling them? How are you describing them? Are you investing enough into promotion to get your sales to a level you need to be viable? These are fundamental questions. I know many of you have probably gone through them before, but I think once you have accomplished the basics of marketing, which is what we talked about today, you then get into more strategic planning. So what's strategic planning? If you want to sell to a particular niche market, you need to have a unique strategy for that. You need to talk the talk that they have. If you want to sell into a vertical, let's say that the vertical you want to sell into is a financial vertical. So if you want to do banks, do you include insurance companies? And do you include brokerage houses? If you want to sell into a particular vertical, how are you going to move to the next level, which is uniquely different and requires a strategic plan that's a little more sophisticated than what we just talked about. You're going to have to hire people that know that industry very well, that could sell to those people. And that's with pharmaceutical industries, that's with medical industries and doctors. And that could be with state and government industries as well. You know, if you're selling to the government in Nigeria, you need to have people that understand the government and the government language. So I'm going to pull this down, Cynthia, And there we go. So
Okay.
I just wanted to talk to you guys now about any questions you may have about this or anything else that's, I see 16 chat questions. Do you want to read them, Cindy? And I could handle them.
Yes. So those, yeah, they are, most of them are the questions that I asked you earlier. So if you have any question, please put that on the chat, or if you would like to speak, you can raise your hand directly via the Zoom hand raise, and then I would unmute you. So for now, we have one question from Khalid. It says, how can we reach out for further queries? For example, email. Okay, so are you asking that question to me or to Gary?
I will send you the slides if you want, Cynthia.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we can share that to them. We'll share this. Yes. So once he sends the slide, we are going to share it directly on the classroom. We are using the Google Classroom to coordinate most of the activities. So you see the slide there. Just go there and download it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So Kenny says, thank you, amazing session. Okay, so Kenny is asking for...
I don't see it on mine.
Pardon?
I don't see it on mine. I'll have it to you in about 5 minutes after we're finished.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's on the chat. So do we have any more questions, or do anyone want to speak or say something?
I'm interested in what brought you to this program.
Oh, good. That's a good question. So please.
Why are you here today? What's the purpose of your attending this session? I know somebody wants to answer that.
Kenny, so let me unmute Kenny. Kenny is interested to answer. 1 second. Kenny, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hello, good afternoon from the city of Abidjan. Thank you for the amazing section. Well, for me, my motivation was because of the fact that I'm very passionate about social entrepreneurship. I've spent most of my time doing voluntary experiences, gaining soft skills, and I'm trying to take a next step in terms of my career. And the focus is to invest or start a career in social entrepreneurship. So that was actually my main motivation. And I have this idea I've been working on for time past, I've been building. So this platform has really helped me in terms of having more insights and also advancing my digital skills. And most importantly, I've learned a lot. Like the past few days have been so much amazing. And thanks to Inspire Africa for this opportunity. So this is all from Kenny.
Well, social entrepreneurship is very unique in your country. I think from what I've seen and heard, there's a lot of interest in that. And are you looking to create a workshop for people?
Yes. Well, you know, in Africa, to be precise, and Nigeria as a case study, we have a lot of problems, and I'm really an advocate for the Sustainable Development Goals. And I feel when there are problems, there are opportunities, there are solutions. And that's why I love social entrepreneurship. But my main focus is high unemployment rates, food insecurity.
The main focus, I'm sorry, I missed that, Kenny. The main focus is?
Yeah, my main focus is about high unemployment rates, especially among young people. Yeah. And secondly, food insecurity. So you realize in Nigeria, as a case study, we have amazing young people with a lot of potentials, but yet these people are unemployed. There are no platform a lot like this that can really help people to explore their potentials. Secondly, the fact that we have massive untapped potential when it comes to agriculture, but yet food insecurity is really alarming in this country. So this is something I'm passionate about, and something I'm actually looking into.
Well, let me ask you something. Cynthia Cynthia, that's a great question and a great cause, by the way. Cynthia has been able to work with uh, the United States government. She's been able to work with different colleges. She's been able to work with the government in Nigeria to try to help that cause. One of the things I would suggest is you spend some valuable time in this workshop understanding what and how to go about that process. If unemployment in Nigeria is very high, but opportunities could be out there as well. And I think that if you work to help people to create something that is of need, you can help that process. But you may need help from the government. And I'm sure there's programs that exist out there.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much for that feedback. So
Yeah.
yeah, I actually love this platform. It's really great platform because it has really helped a lot of us, especially in terms of learning new things. I used to think I know a lot of things when it comes to social entrepreneurship, but in the past few days I've been learning a lot, and this is the first time I'm applying the human-centered design thinking, and it really makes a lot of sense to be sincere.
I think you're going to learn an awful lot through this workshop that she has. Her curriculum is fantastic. She's incredibly skilled. And, if all of you follow in her footsteps, you'll be far better, as will Nigeria.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for that comment. And Kenny, I think one other thing,
Okay.
in addition to what Gary said, I would be very good to do internship with organizations that are already tackling unemployment and learning how they have been, they're driving that, because internship, mentorship from those parts helps a lot in being on the right direction, because unemployment is a huge thing. It's not something ending now. So yeah, I'm well done on that course.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity.
You're
It was
welcome.
nice having this space to share. Yeah,
Okay, thank
and
you.
cheers to Spy Africa. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so
I
much.
I have another
So,
question. Who has a product out there that they'd like to share? What ideas
so
do you have?
so when you ask the first question, we actually have like 4 people on
Okay.
lined up trying to say,
Okay.
so,
Yeah. Go ahead.
so I have Churchill. Let me unmute Churchill. Can you please mute yourself back? Then Churchill, I have Precious and Khalid. Churchill, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where are you
Hello
calling
there,
from,
Joshua.
please?
Oh, thank you so much, Cynthia, and thank you so much, Mr. Gary. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, it's been awesome, and I've been learning so much. What actually inspired me to join Inspired Africa or to
Pardon
be
me.
mentored?
Tell us where you're calling from first, please.
Okay, from Abuja, Nigeria. Sorry.
Okay, Nigeria. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what inspired me is to be trained actually and mentored. Is for me, I love solving problems a lot. I volunteered in different places just to be able to enhance my skill and solve problems all around my sphere. So I've been doing this for a couple of time now, and also into business, but I've not really gotten the platform to, how will I put it, like the knowledge, the concrete knowledge of how to go about solving problems. A lot of times I try solving problem or doing a business, and it gets to a point I mess everything up, because especially on the part of my vision most times, I can't really straighten it out. I just want to do a lot all at once at a time. But you've given me that opportunity to be able to learn. Now I can even understand in this training, in this particular section, I'm able to understand my branding is one of the most important thing, my branding. Then knowing the various means in which I could be able to sell my product, to monitor it, to grow, to also get response from my customers. Putting it all together was just so awesome. And I want to say a very big thank you to that.
You're welcome, Churchill. I hope that was a benefit to folks. I mean, as I said, no matter what you're selling or what you're doing, those principles will be the same.
Yeah.
And you know, you can put whatever words you want into it, but that's going to be critical. So I'm interested. You said you had 3 more or 4 more waiting.
Yeah, we have. So maybe can you, Churchill, can you tell? So anyone who if you want to answer, so tell us your name, like where you're coming from, and like what you do in briefly. Then you talk about your motivation, so that it just helps to respond to that. So I'm going to unmute like Precious or Churchill. Do you want to tell us what you do? Are you still muted? Okay, don't worry. So I'm going to unmute Precious. Precious is next on the line.
Okay.
Yeah, Precious, go ahead quickly.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Precious.
Please speak louder.
I can't hear you, Precious.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Okay. My name is Precious. I'm calling from Lagos State, Nigeria. What I do currently, I actually work corporately, but my passion and the reason why I applied to this program is because of my desire and my zeal for social entrepreneurship, especially in the aspect of agriculture and then women empowerment. So the one I've started fully now is the path for women empowerment. I'm passionate about this because I've actually been not really victim, like the word victim, but I've been on the receiving end of something like that. Yes. Okay. The whole program, I've started with about 3 vendors. Okay, I have 3 women that I buy their produce.
No, don't go and tell us the story. Just tell us in 1 sentence what you do and then your motivation. We have a lot of people on the line right now, so that we can be able to get through it. And we're almost out of time.
What I understand is you're doing something with, you're doing a program with woman empowerment right now.
Yes,
and that's your goal. Okay.
Yeah, that's my goal.
And
so
your motivation for participating in this program, that's what's most, yeah.
Okay, my motivation for participating in this program is to empower myself with the skills that I need. And having joined that, as I saw that I really didn't have any skill at all, like in terms of digital and all that. So my motivation was to learn digital skills, and which is really, really helpful. I've learned a lot on it now, and I know I'll still learn more. And then using this skill that I will learn to empower other women to help my business and then make it grow bigger. Thank you.
Again, very worthy cause. I'm glad you're participating in this workshop because that's exactly what Cynthia's doing.
Okay, so we have Khalid. Precious, please mute yourself back. Khalid, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, it's me, Khalid Ahmed again. So I'm a nutritionist. I'm calling from Kenya. And yes, I have the product. I'm doing a digital innovation around health and nutrition. I noticed that the number of healthcare providers are overwhelmed by that of patients. So I developed a prototype, I tested it, I have feedback, people love it. The social impact part is at 100%, but my business part is, let's say, around 5 or 10%. So my key goal of joining this innovation lab was to work with people from all over the world because I know I'm the next Mark Zuckerberg. I know my app is gonna be in all hospitals around the world, but I need to interact with people from all walks of life. Like right now, I'm interacting with people from Nigeria, people who have master's engineering. So I'm here to learn how to work with other people from all other walks of life. But my product is out there, it's working. So right now I'm just looking forward to scaling up. And as we speak, I'm incorporating innovations around COVID and how to reach people at community level who don't have access to hospitals. So we are using technology to reach people at community level by engaging CBOs. So we are like the middle people, but we are using technology to reach people who can't access healthcare facilities.
Okay,
so my goal is
so you're here. You have you have your nutritional product that people love, and you want to expand your market.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. How many people do you have on your team that's not in your country?
How
many countries? How many countries?
like in the innovation lab.
Yes, currently.
All of them, two are from Nigeria, one is from Somalia, another one, actually three Nigerians, one Somalian, and me from Kenya.
Okay, good for you. At least you have two new network.
So
Yeah, yeah.
international, that's great. That's that's
Okay,
a
thank you.
great start, and I think you'll learn more as Cynthia goes through design thinking with you.
Okay, so I have Ogunleye Joseph Nest. I'll just mute you shortly after you, I think, to Connie. To Connie, you get set. Joseph. So he's not letting me know. Okay, sorry, just hold on 1 second. Yeah, go ahead now, Joseph.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. I'm a Nigerian. I'm calling from Moscow in Russia. So my motivation actually stems from a problem because I'm studying. I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist currently studying. But I have a problem with the fact that scientists are always scared
Joseph,
to come back.
excuse me, Joseph.
Yeah.
You're coming in like broken up a little bit. I don't know if it's headphones or whatever you're using. Did you say you're a scientist and you are looking to develop a product?
Yeah. But I have a problem with the fact that scientists are scared of coming back to Nigeria, usually due to funding, lack of funding for their research. So the reason why I joined this program is to see if social entrepreneurship ideas can be brought into, I know it's kind of weird, but maybe it can be brought to help raise funding for scientists in Nigeria so that science can really begin to make more sense, especially for development of health products and education generally. Because I think if you can work for the ICT domain, maybe other domains such as biological sciences and maybe health sciences can also benefit from it as well. So it actually stems from that problem, and I think I've been learning anyways, but I've not really plugged in because most of the ideas I've been connected to here are usually around. They are not the classical. They are the classical SDG problems and not essentially something related to academics or sciences generally.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like a terrific cause and goals that you want to accomplish. And again, you're in the right place. I think some of the stuff we just talked about would be very helpful to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and mute yourself. I have Tokoni. Tokoni, so yeah, you're muted right now. Please go ahead and speak.
Good day. My name is Tokoni. I'm from Nigeria. And this program has really helped me a lot. Right now, I was thinking of creating a platform where a mentor to mentee platform, because I've noticed that there are a lot of new innovations, new teachings cropping up, and it's really hard to find someone that's already studying it. Even when you go to social media and ask for this or that. So I'd like to create a platform where mentors could be readily available for each person.
So are you interested in becoming a mentor and creating a mentor program?
No, I'm not. I'm just interested in creating a platform where different mentors could be readily available for whichever field you want to enter.
Right. No, well,
that sounds like very similar to like a micro mentor.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Tokoni, check out micromentor.org. They are doing a very incredible, very wonderful job in that aspect. So maybe you might learn a few things from them. You could likely register and then get connected to a mentor within your like the expertise or the field you're looking for. That was how I connected with Gary 6 years ago, and here we are today.
I
Oh,
agree.
I will. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're very
So
welcome.
I have Danielle next. So Tokoni, go ahead and mute yourself. Then Daniel, yeah, you're muted.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gary and Cynthia.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from River State, Nigeria. I'm an energy enthusiast with a passion for solving the issue of energy problem in Nigeria. My motivation for joining this program was to empower myself with relevant skill and training while partner with my team to develop products and also develop a project which I'm working on. As we are going on, I hope to become better, and that's all I could say for now. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
well, you're welcome. What is the energy program you're working on? What kind
I'm
of
working
energy?
on a concentrated solar system using
Solar energy?
using glass and yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, that's terrific. That's where the world's going. Yeah, you picked a good one. That's a good business to be in.
Okay, so I think we have, so David said, yeah, because I'm fascinated by the digital economy and this is a challenge to test my knowledge. And Nonso asked a question and said, thank you, sir, for expanding. Okay, Ryan. Ryan said, can you please tell me what is pay-per-click advertising?
Say that again, Cindy. What is what?
Can you please tell me what is pay-per-click advertising?
Oh, pay-per-click. Sure. That goes into that search engine marketing, search engine management, pardon me. In search engine management, you put advertising out there, you're paying for the advertising, but you actually only pay when someone clicks on an ad. Let me give you an example. And Cynthia is probably one of the masters of this. So when you are on your email and you've searched something on your email, the crawlers that are used in the search engine, the search engines, I should say, will look for your email address. The minute you click on something on any email site, that can follow and track back your IP address so that the next time you go on your email, I know you'll find it weird, particularly if you use Google. So the next time you go onto your email, to the right side or on top of your email that you have, you'll see a picture of that product. I don't know if you've experienced that, but that is when you have paid for click, and then that allows you to get your product shown on that person's email. Now, if someone clicks that email, that view, then you pay so much per click. And sometimes it's as high as 20 cents for each click. Now, whether people buy the product or not, that no one cares, other than the fact that you've got so many people that click through on your product. The typical situation is somebody clicks through and maybe 1 out of 20 buy. That's pretty much the numbers, but that's what pay per click means. And it is, the one thing you have to do is you have to make sure that they're putting it on the right sites, and that whoever you're using, if it's not yourself, are charging you appropriately, because they could charge you a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing with it. And I suggest that you attend a class on digital marketing that gets into specifics about digital advertising. It's a wonderful product, but it could be very expensive.
So Okay. Another question from Joseph says, when do you think it is enough to stop idea validation and just proceed to the market?
Well, I think if you've done some trials and you get feedback, I think one of the most important things that people forget about is they're so anxious to get to marketing and putting the product out there that they haven't really done a solid test. I think the solid test is to do a sampling of types of customers, uh, put out your marketing proposition and see what the take rate is. If you have a good take rate, and I'll be very kind. I mean, if it's 50%, you're in great shape. It could be 40%, you're in great shape. It all depends again on the pricing. So, you know, you have to be at a situation where at 40% take rate or less, you're okay. You've made enough based on your profit, but you can't make it too much money. So the dependency of that 40%, 50%, 60% depends on how much your product costs. So don't forget the trials before you go to the full marketing program.
Okay, thank you. And Abdul Ahmed says, thanks for the session, sir. How do we best market a digital enterprise to a population that is already used to physical enterprise?
Yeah, that's a bit of a challenge because the digital and technical skills aren't necessarily there. I think you have to say who within that physical enterprise or organization could pick it up. I would tell you that the younger people are using digital, and digital marketing is the only way they search for things and look for things. So you have a market within a market, and you have to pick the 20 to 40-year-old range people because that's your best opportunity. So target marketing inside of that market is going to be the solution for the type of marketing you're talking about.
Thank
Does that make
you.
sense?
Yeah. Then from David, is verification, for example, ticks on social media a type of SEO?
I'm sorry, Cindy, could you say that again?
You say, is verification, for example, ticks on social media, is it a type of SEO?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're getting clicks and likes on on Facebook, and if you're getting to increase your followers, and that goes up the line, that is absolutely a good sign. So that's important. If you get people that are sharing, in fact, that is something that people fail to do. One of the things you should try once you put your Facebook messaging out there is to get people to like it and get people to share it. And it's amazing once that happens, it just builds your product and your opportunities up and your followers. So yes, that's something that has to be done.
Okay, then so I think you have a meeting in the next few minutes, right? Do
Yes,
you still have more
I
time, or should we round up now?
We've got about 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes, okay. So another question from Dio says, my business started and grew fast with Facebook promotions. Right now, there seems to be a little interaction or conversation on the promotions. Is there a peak? What should I do next?
So you're saying that the promotional aspect of Facebook has been tightened down and you're not able to do it? Is that what you're saying?
Like it went very fast high, then it dropped down. No more conversation on it. Yeah.
No. Okay. I think you need to go back to what the subject matter was when it went very high. If that has changed, then you need to re-engage the original conversation. If it hasn't changed and people have just saturated with that, then you need to find out who your competition is, because very likely someone else is putting that same information out. So it's up to you to find out and search to find out what competitors are out there and who's stealing your market share.
Okay, so I think this is just a comment based on the motivation question from Namso. It says, my name is Namso Esu. I'm from Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. What really motivates me to apply for the Ignite Innovation Lab Digital Transformation Challenge is to learn new digital skills that would help me scale my digital business, connect with people, and I am working on a project called Mobile Banking, where we render banking services to members of our community. I also found a Sunam Enterprise Nigeria, where we produce a product called Super Cooking Oil. I'm passionate about creating jobs, helping people to get banking services wherever they are.
That's
And,
great.
yeah.
If that's a growing market, and I suspect it is, and if you are working with a bank or bankers to help that, or even creating your own sort of platform for people to use for mobile market banking and digital banking, you have to make sure you're secure. You have to make sure your website is impenetrable. If you know, obviously there's a lot of information that's going to be coming through that platform. So you either hook up with somebody that has a solid platform that's, encrypted and people can't break into it, and then you sell the value of that platform. That's a very good opportunity, I would think, in Nigeria right now.
Yeah, and our last question for today says, that's from Precious, says, thank you, Gary, for this awesome session. How do I sustain customers' desire for my passion and business?
How do you test customers' desire?
Sustain
it. Oh,
yes.
Sustain it. Oh, well, that's, if you remember those questions, the one thing that we suggested was to constantly talk and get feedback from your customers. As you get feedback from your customers, you will learn what they like, what they want to see that's different. Don't be afraid to ask. I think it's oftentimes people don't want to know their shortcomings. So it's very important that you learn from your customers. For people who say they know the answers, they know what their customers want, that is just wrong. And I have never worked with an organization that didn't survey clients or customers for information. Of course, the other thing is to check what your competition is doing. And if they are doing something uniquely different, you need to understand what that is and see if you should participate in that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gary. I think, and in addition to that, because this is also part of the task you were asked to do for empathy, you need to create either survey or speak to your customer. You cannot just do research and create a product without actually talking to a real person, the person you're designing for, the potential personnel you are creating for. So interview them live or like do surveys. It's really important because understanding their needs more would give you more insight to the right product to create for them. You're not just, like Gary said, don't just bring product out, actually meet the needs of people. Yeah, and that's where you create real value. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful. So before you leave us, Gary, I'm going to unmute everybody and I'll allow them to unmute themselves and then just say keywords. Please say keywords from what you learned today, like we did for other speakers, keywords, and then, yeah, so that Gary just, and then say something nice like you appreciate about this. Go ahead. Go ahead, everyone.
Thank you, Gary, for the
Branding.
insight. So I appreciate and understand that you are contributing to the growth of my business. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Gary, for everything. You are the best.
Tell us keyword, one thing you learned.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Good.
Keywords, yeah. We want to hear some keywords.
I learned marketing evaluation. It was great, actually.
Marketing evaluation, good.
Hey, that's good. All right, well, I'm going to leave. Cindy, I will send the deck over to you. You'll get it in a minute.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you,
so
everyone, for
grateful.
giving me an opportunity. I love doing this. I think Cindy is just fantastic, and you all were very great audience. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Lots of love from the city of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Love you.
okay, thank you too. Bye. So if you have any question about your task, please feel free to ask me right now. I have like 10 minutes and before we leave. Okay?
I'm going to go so I can get that
Yes,
sent.
yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
So if any of you have challenge with your tasks, your empathy task, feel free to ask me in the next 10 minutes. I will be able to respond to that, and then you're all free to go.
Hello, I don't know. Some tags are missing on our folders, especially the second tag. We can't seem to find it, and I don't know. I sent a mail.
So have you been following the Google Classroom?
Yes, I have.
Okay, did you see the instruction clearly where we said copy all the tasks, so copy all the documents in the folder and put them on your Teams folder?
Yes.
So which of the tasks is missing and why is it missing if you copied it?
Okay, we were able to get some of our team members about 2 days ago, and as of today, I was able to copy the first task, and one of our team members has left, so it was an issue we're trying to resolve. I sent a mail. So far, we are still on personal tasks. I think we have done that, so I don't know. Couldn't copy the other tasks.
Okay, so which of them precisely? Is it the design your challenge or the empathy one?
Design your challenge. The design your challenge.
That's the task you're still on right now. Okay, that means
Yeah, so I sent a mail actually.
You guys are far behind though. You have passed your deadline, so you need to quickly move on. Whatever you have now, just complete it and move on. So right on the design your challenge. So I'm going to open the classroom shortly. Let me just share my screen so that you see.
Okay.
So which of the specific tasks on that design your challenge haven't you copied? Is it the how might we sheet?
Okay. I just checked now. It has been updated because I sent a mail. So the how might we have been sent because it was missing on our folder. So why I sent the mail was because some of the files were missing. So
Yeah,
I'll have to check.
so the instruction, what I meant by go to the Google Classroom, let me share my screen because I think a lot of people are having that issue. And you're not supposed to be reaching us to send you document. Nobody will put any file into your folder, like we said. And we ask that you go, so can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm there actually.
So this is Design Your Challenge. We posted this for you. This is the folder. We posted it. So when I clicked on it and opened it, it opened the folder for me. So you need to go to that folder and open it up and everything that is in that folder, copy it into your team folder. So anything that is missing in your folder is because you have not gone to copy it from here. So you need to go to the classroom, copy it and put in your team folder. So for example, empathy. Yeah, so empathy has been launched too. That was a few days ago. So the same thing, you have to go and copy this folder and put it into your team folder. So every single thing that is in this folder, arrange it in the same order at which that it's like you have here, and rename it. Make sure that you rename it, take out the copy off and rename it with either with the name that is there plus your team name, or with the name plus your individual name if the task is individual. But if it's team, just the name of the task and team name, that will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that helps. Yeah, so other ones too, we won't put anything in your folder. So anything that is missing in your folder, just come to the classroom to check for it, okay?
Okay, yeah, get it now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Do we have, okay, so somebody said, 1 second. Please, some members of Team 24 who were removed or not assigned into a new group are currently active. Someone, can you take note of that? They said from Daniel, Team 24. So some of them who were removed and not assigned into a new group are currently active. So maybe they are in the inactive category on our list, and they've gone back to their current team. So please check on that, and you can put them back. And we want you to know that we launched, I think either Sarah have done that or we are yet to do that. So we're going to launch, it's almost set, an activity tracker to assess your own fellow team members. So you'll be given an activity tracker in an Excel sheet. What you need to do is to use it to, you put the name of your, so to guide you what to do. You let us know if that person has been, for empathy phase, is that person active or not? For design phase, active or not? Then put additional comments. How has that person been helpful or contributing to the team or not? So you put that under your additional comments. So that will help us know which team members deserves a reward or not. So can we continue with them, or what do we do? Okay, Samoa, you help. I don't know, how many do you have, Daniel? Inform Samoa directly via the chat, a private message, to let her know how many you are currently, and she will advise what to do, if you should continue with the team or not. Abdulaziz says, I'm having issues with a tax on empathy. What specific tax on empathy are you having issue with? This is your empathy folder. Make sure you copy every single document in it. So let me know what issue you're having, so I can be able to address that directly. Daniel said they were not active initially as they were removed by Sarah. No, they were not active before they were removed. So Abdulaziz said 5 force analysis is giving me issue. Okay, so Abdulaziz, I think that you might need to, so that 5 force analysis, I think that you need to you have to use a computer. And again, secondly, it's done with Google Drawing. I don't know if you know what Google Drawing is. So when you click on it, you have to double click to be able to type inside. So let me see if I can open that up quickly. Jean said, I have challenge to create personnel because it was hard to log into Canva, and when I got there, I don't see personnel template. How do I create personnel? Oh my God. Okay, Jean, so to create a personnel template, we suggested Extensio or Canva because they have different types of templates. They are like PowerPoints or Google Slide. All you need to do is to, when you create your login, search for which template looks like something you can use. So you just like adapting it, and you are not necessarily, there's no template called personnel. So it was something that looks like a personnel that you can edit. Another thing you can do is, if you cannot use it, you can use your Google Slide. Just create like the way the sample was created. It must not be exactly as it is, but you can use your Google Slides to design it, or PowerPoint or anything. It doesn't have to be Canva or Extensio if you're having difficulty with that. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, so 5. Oh, so now I see where your challenge is. This document, this is the Word doc version of the document that was sent, not the editable version. So I'm going to ask Sarah to, let me check something, 1 second. About the, Chisom said, about the empathy phase, how should we carry out the live market survey? It's very simple. You need to talk to people. So you can either create a Google form and ask people questions, or you call them one-on-one. like to speak to them about it, interview them. Do you understand? So market survey is not, it's about talking to people like what they want, to understand their needs. So right now, I think who asked that question about this document, SWOT, and Abdulaziz, I guess it's Abdulaziz. Okay, so Abdulaziz, if you see my screen, I opened the document using Google Sheets, Google Doc, sorry. So just come here, open with, you click on open with, and you click on Google Doc. So it will open up and it shows this. Then I clicked directly, double clicked on that drawing. When I clicked on the double clicked on it, it opened up this. So give it some time, it will open up. As you can see, this is a drawing. I think that when you click on it too, so my screen is a bit slow. When you click on it too, you'll be able to type directly into it. So can you see that? If you can see that, let me know. Say yes. So you double click directly into this, and then you can see all the tools there. That it's just like normal documents, but it's put under Google Drawing, and then you can type into it. And when you type finish, so make sure you save and close it up. Save and close it up. So, and then it will appear here. The same thing, you come to this side for supplier power, double click again. When you double click on it, your drawing will come up with the tool. Click directly into it and type whatever you need to type, so, and save it. So once you're done, it will appear in that same direction. And just make sure, I think if this is currently in Microsoft Word format, so you need to save this file. So like me, I would like to save this, convert it to Google Doc, or save it, because it was originally Microsoft. So so make sure that if a document is a Microsoft and you open it up to work with Google Doc, so make sure you do click on this. So file, save as Google Doc. So it will save directly in your file. I hope that helped. Is there any other question? If that is all, that'll be, I think we are fine for now.
There's one more question that I wanted to show something with that pen, but since you have collected the what?
Who is speaking? Okay. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. We don't have any other concerns. Thank you so much for joining this meeting today. I hope it was enlightening and helpful. And I hope you have a wonderful time with your tasks and your challenge and your team. Please have a wonderful rest of your week. We would, in case we have any other training, we'll definitely send you an invite. So take care, thank you, and bye.